In this video, I'm going to talk about the YAML. If you saw the serverless.yaml, you will see the same syntax. Let me show you this YAML file. If you will open the serverless.yaml file, and you will see the YAML syntax. It's an object, it's a key value pair. The syntax is similar to the JSON file. Let me show you with the help of example. How do you create the key value pair? Let's say we have property name. The value of the name is, let's say, gender. Let's say age. You can create the number. You can also create the floating point number. Let's say salary is 1000 or whatever you want to say. You can also create the boolean variable is manager. Let's say that. The most important stuff I'm going to talk about, you must have YAML plugin. If you check the VS Code extension, you will find this plugin, YAML support by Red Hat. I have installed this plugin. You can also check, is it YAML correct or not? You can go to this one, yamllint.com. I'm going to go, click on the go. So valid successful. We have successfully written the valid YAML. Let's say we have a person. I'm going to write the JSON. We have name property. Let's say gender. I told you the YAML and the JSON are same. Let's say we have age 21, salary we have 5000, and we have is manager property. Type is boolean. Now, how do you convert this JSON object to YAML? What you have to do, you have to follow the indentation pattern. Person, you have name, age, salary, and is manager. Cool. So this is how you will convert the JSON object to YAML. You can also verify from this website, convert JSON to YAML. You can use this tool, best online tool to convert JSON to YAML. So let's say I'm gonna paste the JSON. It is going to convert JSON to YAML. You will see this one. The same concept here. What you can do, you can take your serverless.yaml file and you can convert into the JSON. Let me show you. Let's say YAML to JSON. I'm gonna copy this YAML and I'm gonna paste it here. It will convert to the JSON. You can see that we have a service property, and the value of service property is SLS API. And you will see the provider object, and you can see that we have provider object, and we have three properties inside the provider object: name, runtime, region, and we have a functions property. Basically, it's an object. Provider is also an object, and inside the functions object we have a hello object, which is our function, and here you will define the handler. I also want to talk about the arrays. What is the syntax of the array? Let's say we have an array. Let's say person have an array, or you can say that. Let's define another object. Let's say customer, and I'm gonna have the address property, or you can say that companies. Let's say companies. I'm gonna define the array X company, or maybe Y company, and the Z company. So how do you convert this customer object to JSON? We have to create the customer object. Let's define the properties. We have a companies, and how do you define the arrays? So that's the very important stuff. you have to add this dash, and here you can write the x, y, and the z. It is not a correct YAML syntax. We have to add the dash to each value. Say I'm gonna add the y, and I'm gonna add the z. Awesome, it looks good. So you can verify it from this one. I'm gonna copy the YAML. Let's convert to the JSON. What is wrong? Oops, we need to provide the YAML here. Now I'm gonna convert to the JSON. Cool. You can see that it looks good. So this is the syntax of the array value. You can also create an array of objects. Let's say I have a friends array. It's an array of objects. So how do you create that? First, I'm gonna create the JSON. Let's say we have friends array. We have ID. Let's say it's 1, and we have name Jane. Let's say we have 2 friends. Awesome. How do you convert this array into the YAML? Let me show you. I'm going to use the dash here. Or you can also follow this pattern. ID should be, let's say 1. Name should be Jane. Or otherwise you can follow this pattern. Name should be Jane. I don't need to add the dash here. First, let me add the ID. I'm going to convert it to 2. I don't need to add dash here. Let's say we have a Jane. So I'm going to copy this one. Let's try to test it here. YAML to JSON. Boom. You will see the array of friends. Now you can create multiple objects. Let's say ID 3. Name should be Smith. I'm going to test that. YAML to JSON. It's a valid JSON file.